While the pandemic was a rough time for many, and understandably so, one creator called Rainbolt used the time to hone in his skills on a video game called Geoguessr. Geoguessr is a game where you are placed randomly in the world and have to guess where you are, as close as you can. There's different variations though, like you can play a variation where you're only placed in a certain country like Australia for example. According to one website, an average round can take up to 20 minutes. That's a round of 5 guesses, by the way. With this in mind, based on the graph that Rainbolt shared, he played over 1,500 hours of the game between January and May of this year. But, as you've seen, he doesn't play at a normal pace, so that isn't entirely accurate. But who is Rainbolt? Rainbolt's name is Trevor. He is American. As mentioned, he plays Geoguessr. It's not too hard to find more specific information like his education history, but I don't feel like that's relevant to the conversation. But it isn't just all he does. He's a social media strategist at a startup that runs viral sports entertainment accounts on Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat. He also dropped out of college after his freshman year to start working for the startup. According to the Washington Post, he first started dedicating time to Geoguessr after watching other creators like Geoguessr play the game. He doesn't just guess the countries, that's a bit too easy for him, so to add to the challenge he sets his own barriers and restrictions, like just looking at dirt and guessing from that, or seeing the image of where he is in the world for 0.1 seconds and then guessing. Each one more and more challenging, yet he continues to prevail and continues to go viral online. While it's impressive, it's all memory, and picking up on the little things that stand out. He said in regards to the soil colours, once you see the country in their soil colours, it's just human intuition. Can I describe to you why I think that it looked like it was Nigerian soil? Probably not, but it does. It's just part of that sixth sense you pick up on when you play the game so much. In a video he released, he shared some tips and tricks for playing Geoguessr, like these.
A very helpful tip for when you're in Thailand is if you see these fences on the side of the road, like these concrete fences with holes in them, more than likely you have to be in Amnat Sharon, which is this like northeast city over here. It's very, very common you get these fences with these holes in them. Sometimes they might look a little bit different than this, but if you see holes in these fences, you're going to be in this region of Thailand. Turkey is a very hard country to region guess, so I have 2 tips from a Turkish pro that will really help region guessing in Turkey, both of them being water tanks.
He currently has 2 YouTube channels with over 100,000 subscribers, and he has also collaborated with creators like Ludwig, and he's even held a Geoguessr competition that Dream was a part of. While the initial interest was surrounding Geoguessr, Rainbolt has expanded his horizons, although it's still locating places through photos or even videos in some cases. For example, the latest geolocation attempt was finding the location of a soldier during World War II, with the attached message reading, "Hi there, hope all is well. I'm a fan of your content and I want to ask if you'd be able to help my family and me out. I have a photo of my grandfather, a US soldier taken during World War II overseas in Germany. Unfortunately, he passed away in 2010 and I only discovered this photo in 2020 when going through his old stuff. The past 2 years I've been trying to figure out where it's been taken so I can take a trip there with my family and recreate it. Please see attached photo below. Regards." The follow-up tweet says no photospheres available, which raises a point that I haven't mentioned yet. Not everywhere is available on Geoguessr or Google Maps, which is what Geoguessr uses. For example, while it may not be entirely accurate now, a comment from Reddit from 3 years ago gives good indication. They were responding to a question that asked if there were any places that they wouldn't be able to find on Geoguessr. Yes, all the countries that aren't covered by Google Street View, which includes the vast majority of Africa, excluding Tunisia, Senegal, Ghana, Nigeria, Uganda, Kenya, Botswana, South Africa, Lesotho, and Eswatini. Most microstates and small island nations, e.g. in the Pacific and the Caribbean, most of the Middle East, China, nearly all of India, and some more. If you want a more detailed answer, you can go to www.google.com/maps. Click on the yellow man in the bottom right corner and it will highlight all the coverage for you. Do keep in mind, however, that some of those lines represent unofficial coverage, which is pretty much useless for Geoguessr due to slow movement. Since expanding his horizons, Rainbolt has found other interesting things using his pre-existing knowledge. For example, here he is finding the location of a Lizzo music video.
Finding the street from this music video on Google Maps. Immediately, with these reflectors on this pole, I knew we would be in California. From there, using the shadow on this car, I knew the road was going from north to south, where I was able to quickly scan and match these mountains in the north and find the exact road. 43045, 150th Street in Lancaster, California.
While all of these are cool, my favorites are definitely the more personal stories like the soldier I mentioned earlier. But here are two of my favorites. Finding a lost photo for a follower. This one was super challenging because Cyprus has very little coverage / satellite, but I was happy I was able to find it. And this video.
Finding the street from this video on Google Maps. This man proposed to his wife 13 years ago right here, but couldn't remember where it was. So he asked if I could find it and relive this moment. Immediately, with Mount Fuji in the back, the general location was very clear. But with his information given, and the only thing he remembers is that he took a bus from Fujisawa, meaning they had to be facing the east side of Mount Fuji. From there, I looked at every bus route from Fujisawa and was able to narrow down the potential cities they could be in. From there, I started scanning roads in these cities and tried lining up the exact angle of Mount Fuji in the back with the exact distance. But with most of Google's coverage being extremely cloudy, it made it near impossible. But eventually, I matched the exact profile in Gotemba, Japan. From there, another pro and I started scanning roads in Gotemba, but came up short, until we realized that this grassy road could be on the map. And knowing it was facing west with a house to the south, we scanned for roads that lined up and quickly found the exact location, right here in Gotemba, Japan. The couple now plans on going back.
Before I end the video, I just want to mention a couple of things. Firstly, there are videos about him allegedly cheating while playing the game Geoguessr, which he has addressed himself, even saying that when he first watched highly skilled players play the game, that he thought they were cheating too. In his video, he shows an eye tracker along with his face cam and even an external video of his monitor. It explains it all. I personally don't believe he has cheated, and I think his discoveries outside of the game show his dedication to learning geography, even places like Cyprus that have little coverage. He has streamed and participated in many live events too, and as he says, it comes from spending so much time playing the game. You learn these things that people wouldn't usually pick up on. And he also says that most of the time when he uploads challenges that they aren't the first try, that he'll essentially play until he gets a good run and upload that, which makes sense. It also makes sense that you'd think he was cheating if a really good run that you see on TikTok or YouTube Shorts is, to your knowledge, his first run. Earlier this month, November, he decided to sell everything he owned and travel. He mentioned in an interview that he'd never been outside of America due to his passport expiring, which has evidently been resolved since the interview. He's spending the first month in Germany and even spotted his first ever Google car. Thanks for watching. If you did enjoy it, leave a like and subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you for the next video soon.